Hey everybody, welcome to my channel. I recently renamed it to Watch Out, but that was without actually looking at all the channels on YouTube that are calling themselves Watch Out, and some of them watch channels. So as a result, I have renamed it yet again to Watch Lookout. I'm on the lookout for watches. Now, the last video I did, I said that it was probably going to be my last watch that I added to my collection, and then I gave some short diatribe about enjoying the watches that I have, etc., etc. And I did order a leather strap for that watch that I purchased, which was the Pagani design that is the automatic day date. And while I was ordering that watch strap, I saw this, and I had to have it. And then at the same time, I saw another watch, which is an even better version of the watch that I have on my wrist now. So a quick wristwatch check shows that I'm wearing the Pagani design 1776, the 1676, pardon me, PD 1676. This is supposed to be the Paul Newman homage, but I got quite upset because my crystal was different than the one I saw on every YouTube channel reviewing it and on every photograph and every video, etc. So I found another watch that is a more authentic Paul Newman homage with proper bracelet, proper pushers, the fact that there's no crown guard. Really, really nice. And of course, it has a raised crystal, but in acrylic crystal, so it's staying period correct clasp. So I'm really excited for that watch, but it hasn't arrived. And I saw this one, and I wanted to buy it, but the price was high, and I could see on AliExpress that they were going to reduce the price for the 21st end of season sale. So I waited until Monday, and as soon as the clock struck 10 o'clock my time, I got online and I ordered it, and I'm glad because there was only 5 watches left at the time, and so I managed to get it in the nick of the time. So I'm really excited about it, and I only saw one review of this watch on YouTube, so not a lot of information that I could see from another customer review. And what do we have? It is a BERNY. It's a BERNY. So rather, I would say, humble and unpretentious packaging. We have an outer sleeve here, and then we have our box with sort of a ridiculous slogan. What does that say? Witness your legend. I guess you would witness your legend because you'd be experiencing it, wouldn't it? And of course, you'd have to be doing something that could be constituted as legend. All right, so what do we have? Bada bing, bada boom. Little pillow in there. Bang! Got a black BERNY classic dive watch. I'm going to talk about it here in a little bit. Comes on this pillow. We have a BERNY manual, which is Chinese, English, and French, looks like, telling us about how the watch works. There's a little Ziploc bag containing some, looks like it's containing both spring bars and some screw pins and a couple of extra links. But these look to me to be end links. That's interesting. So I have no idea what that's about. I guess I'll have to get into it and figure it out a little bit. So we do also have a hang tag. And of course, so let me get into it a little bit here. This is covered in plastic. This is the AM126VM, and this is -BLK because it is black. It's unclear to me whether it's a PVD treatment or if it is instead just a paint job. I think that BERNY is selling it on its website for $125. sort of standard price, and I know I got mine for a slight discount, but it wouldn't have been much less than that. In fact, it's possible I even paid more than what BERNY is selling it for on its website. And I had intended to buy it off of the BERNY website if, for example, it had become unavailable on AliExpress because of that sale on the 21st. So I should also point out that today is the 31st. This is tied for the record of the fastest AliExpress delivery ever. 10 days, 10 magical days. It's a whirlwind how fast this watch was delivered. And the other watch I talked about, which is a more accurate Paul Newman homage, it's sort of an homage to the 6142 from 1968, the Daytona Cosmograph reference number 6142 from 1968. It is basically that watch. Even it has an acrylic bezel insert, which that reference had in the 1968 model. All right, so what do we have here? We've got basically a dive watch which features 200 meters of water resistance. That's nice and proper. A screw-down crown. Case diameter, according to BERNY, is 40.5 millimeters, not just 40 millimeters, but 40.5, with a lug-to-lug, I believe, at 47.5 millimeters, and a thickness, case height, of 13 millimeters. Our lug width is a friendly and standard 20 millimeters, and a couple features here. Now, they seem fairly impressed with themselves when they talk about this 2-in-1 deal on their website about the Jubilee bracelet. But looking at this version, it looks like it might be a slight modification to what they advertise on their website and what the one reviewer I saw of this watch pointed out. I think originally, let me get into it here a little bit. I think originally on the end link, you see that it was articulated about halfway up on this end link. And instead now what we see is something that sort of conforms more to what we would expect to see on a Jubilee bracelet, which is sort of the faux Jubilee on the end link, and then the actual articulated links that begin once you get past this end link. But having said that, this does sort of have a male end link feel to it, because this bit here attached to the end link is male and not female. And so I wonder if the 47.5 millimeters takes that into consideration. It does drop down pretty nicely, though. Also has a screw-down case back. I'm just trying to get into a little more. Now, the clasp is fully milled, and it does have on-the-fly adjustment, so I hope to demonstrate that here quickly. The movement inside is Seiko Instruments NH35. This does feature a date complication, so it means we have no ghost positions. It is hand winding. And I'm just trying to see if I have any. Yeah, so our bezel is also got a ceramic insert, which is quite nice. And one of the reasons why I had to have this watch, other than the fact that I wanted another more durable black dive watch in my collection, I do have a black GMT Master 2, which is a Bamford watch department. Probably shouldn't mention that because I know the Gold Crown doesn't like that. But I do have one of those, and I also have a Unimatic U3 FN, which is the chronograph model of the Unimatic that is also in black diamond-like coating. And both of those watches are nice. Both of them are limited edition. So I wanted something a little cheaper, obviously a lot cheaper, and durable, but also black. Okay, so we're almost into the clasp. The bracelet is supposed to be 20 centimeters without any links pulled out. Okay, so a little bit flimsy. And it looks like that could be painted instead of DLC. It kind of feels like it's painted instead of PVD treatment. There's a certain texture with PVD and DLC. And there's also a certain texture when something is painted, which is to say that your fingers kind of adhere to the metal more. It is 316 stainless steel, I should point out. Okay, so we do have a quick adjust, and there it is, sure enough. Pops out fairly easily. And on the inside, you can see that it's got, well, maybe you can see, there we go. You can see that it's got these little ratchet marks, allowing the quick adjust, which is good. I'll be excited to use that. And it pops back into place fairly easily. Let me go ahead and get it on wrist. It does feature a sapphire crystal. It is a flat sapphire crystal, just so you can see. And yeah, so similar to what the guy said who reviewed this watch, the bezel action is a little bit too easy. A little bit too easy, must be said. And a little bit of back play. Yeah, the bezel feels a bit cheap, unfortunately. Those are applied indices, and they are sort of orangish / patina, but more orange, I would say, than patina. And I can't wait to show you a lume shot, because we've got not one, not two, but three, count them, 3 super luminous colors. Very excited about that. That's one of the reasons why I added it to my collection, because the lume is orange on the bezel. So I believe it's green on the indices on the dial. It's a fully lumed bezel, so it will be a combination of blue and orange. I don't know if it's a BGW9 or not. Okay, so putting it on the wrist now. The bracelet does feel a bit thin and flimsy. So does the clasp, by the way. Not impressed with that. But of course, once I get it tight, wow, there's a lot there. And I have a 7.5-inch wrist, so there'll be a lot of links to remove. All right, looks good on the wrist. I like anything that's plus 40 millimeters in case diameter. I'm going to charge this and see what kind of love we can get in this bright light. It's still quite sunny here. Now, our dial is matte black. It is not a shiny black. I think I might take this into the other room just so we can see what it looks like. Now, of course, I had to start my laundry. Let me close this. First time I'm doing it like this. All right, so you can see the blue. And that orange is not just the light washing off of the monitor, but it is also orange lume. So the pip is blue and orange. And yeah, 3 colorways. The dial is not that bright. I probably should have charged it with a little more light. But it features orange lume, ladies and gentlemen. Quite amazing. And that's why I got it. Aside from the fact I also wanted an inexpensive DLC treated watch, which, like I said, I'm not clear to me if it's DLC or if it's just paint. But time will tell, much like if the love is going to last. Only time will tell. Now, I'm a little unclear if these are supposed to be end links, and if they are end links, exactly what that's supposed to, I mean, that's just not clear to me. I suppose that it's possible these could be end links in which you would replace the end link, but you would still attach the Jubilee bracelet to it. I don't know. That is very unclear to me, and perhaps I'll find it if I read through this manual. All right, guys, thanks for coming out. BERNY there's not a whole lot of watches I'm excited about in their collection, but this one excited me. Now, I should also point out this is one of 5 different iterations that they have. So they do have another black version in which the applied indices are blue, and so that is also, it doesn't have the orange on the bezel. The bezel is all just one color, which is blue. And then they have 3 untreated stainless steel versions, one with a blue dial, one with a white dial, and one with a black dial. All of those feature black ceramic bezel inserts. Yeah, I mean, and I've also seen some other watches in the same model line, this AM126 model line, that look different than this. They don't really look like dive watches, so I'm not really sure what that's all about. I don't know enough about BERNY's model numbers. Okay, it looks like it lines up, but here it doesn't look like it lines up. It's a weird optical illusion I noticed whenever I try to show the bezel and whether it lines up at the 12 o'clock position. It always looks like it doesn't, even though I'm looking dead at it, and it does a pretty good job of lining up. So I don't know, it's just like a sort of optical illusion there. It looks like it's honestly sort of lining up as closely as it will line up. All right, guys, I have another watch on the way, so despite this unsigned crown, despite my best efforts to keep my collection at what it is, it has since grown by at least 2 more watches. Thanks, everybody, for watching the video and making it this far. Please like, share, and subscribe. I think I have a couple watches I might give away. This might be one of them. I'd like to give it away to my 1,000th subscriber, but I'm still like 800 subs away from that. So that could either be a hella long time, or maybe I'll concede and maybe give this away at 500 subs. Who knows? All right, cheers, everybody.